Welcome back to Quotidian's podcast. Today's episode is about Huntington's disease.
Welcome back, everybody or anybody, to Quotidian's podcast. I'm your host, Talha Antic, and not Quotidian. Why, you ask? Well, it just sounds better. Anyway, today's topic is about Huntington's disease. I was waiting for the intro, but apparently I already did that. So let's dive right in. So first of all, the basics. Huntington's disease is a fatal neurological disorder that causes the breakdown of neurons in the brain and also leads to a decline of a person's mental and physical abilities. And since there's no cure, the victim is eventually killed off from physical complications such as heart failure, respiratory failure, cancer, etc. People who have had the disease report symptoms like forgetfulness, mood swings, depression, involuntary body movement, and speech impediments. And the really bad thing about this is that the symptoms are similar to Parkinson's and Alzheimer's and ALS, making it really hard for doctors to diagnose this disease. 1 in 10,000 people have Huntington's disease, and accordingly, the US has roughly about 30,000 people with the disease. And the disease is caused by, actually, I don't know what it's caused by. So I can either read the script now or ask Leah. Probably gonna ask Leah because she's like Google, knowing so much information, all that. So Leah, what causes Huntington's disease?
I do not know.
What was that?
I told you, I do not know.
Oh, that makes sense. Thanks, Leah. So for those people who've been listening to these podcasts for a while know that Leah likes to talk in code most of the time. It's pretty hard to understand, but I think I got it all this time. So according to Leah, Huntington's disease is a chromosomal mutation, or more accurately, a duplication mutation. What this means is that a certain gene, in this case the HTT gene, is copied on the chromosomes too many times. The normal repetition for this disease is usually 10 to 35 times, but people with the disease can have it repeat 36 to up to 120 times. Also, one thing that Leah pointed out was that Huntington's disease was a dominant autosomal trait, meaning that you can either have the trait or not. Carriers don't exist. So for people with Huntington's disease, their offspring have a 50% chance of inheriting the disease as well. What makes it worse is that the symptoms don't have an effect until a person's late 20s or mid 30s. This means that a person could already have children with the disease without the parents knowing the risks. Also, I forgot to mention, the way the doctor usually tests for the disease is by taking a blood sample and then counting the number of repetitions of the gene found in the chromosome. So enough with all that, let's talk about something more interesting. Let's talk about someone who actually had the disease. So Megan is a 26-year-old woman that was diagnosed with Huntington's disease at age 19. She knew she had a chance of having the disease because her father was also diagnosed with the disease when she was only 2. So one summer when Megan was pouring herself a cup of lemonade, she clumsily spilled it and dropped the glass as well. This is when she first suspected she had her father's disease. When she was finally diagnosed, she was at first angry at everyone, but as she came to accept her situation, she decided she wouldn't let it get in her way. She decided to hold a charity concert to fund research for a cure. Thank you, Megan, for all your bravery. So even though Huntington's disease still remains incurable, many biologists are still looking for cures. So one promising treatment is a drug known as KB3010. So when tested with mice that had the disease, they discovered the mice lived longer when given the drug. And this was also true for another drug known as bexarotene. A team of scientists led by Duke University are hoping for new treatments with the two drugs. Like many other diseases, it's only a matter of time before human ingenuity finds us a cure. Well, that's all for today's video. Leah, you want to end it off?
Yes, of course. Thank you for listening. We hope you tune in again.